Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. And I haven't done one of these episodes in a while. Um, there hasn't really been a lot of milestones, but tomorrow, Saturday, October the 8th, my oldest child will turn 18 and become responsible for her own decisions. And that's wild for me to think about where we've come over the last 18 years. Previous birthdays, I've had her on the show. My little girl turns 12 tomorrow.
October 8th.
You've seen her stand here and be fidgety and jumpy and say weird things. We've done project videos together where we painted a giant Hyrulean shield. We've shared a lot of moments together on camera. But tomorrow she's 18. She's an adult. And to be honest with you, it doesn't really feel that much different than the way things have been all along. And I say that because, her mother and I have given her, both of our children, have had a lot of agency over their lives since they were toddlers. Like, when they start to understand that they have choices, we tried to give them choices. And we tried to let them make choices, good or bad. Let them figure it out on their own. Let them have their own voice. And so when she turns 18 tomorrow, it's not like suddenly I'm turning them loose into the world, letting her make her own decisions. She's been making her own decisions this whole time. We've provided guidance. We've provided, hopefully, valuable lessons about what the world is like, what individuality is like. And I think that, the evidence of that is who my daughter is today. She's a very independent, different person. um, and I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of the person she's become. I hope that she finds her way in the future. I think that at this point in life, she's just starting to deal with the reality that in a few short months, it's all on her, Like, are you going to college? Are you going to enter the workforce? What is your plan? And that's hitting her pretty hard right now. And I think it hit all of us. I had it at 17 when I joined the Marines, which meant that my life was set for me. She's not going to join the military. She can't. She's had, a debilitating surgery on her knee, so she's not eligible for the military. But she's very still uncertain, unfortunately, as an aspect of having that freedom of choice. Her high school GPA isn't up to where she wants it to be for the colleges she wants to attend. She did extremely well on the SAT, so she has to figure out what she wants to do. She wants to do theater, but she realizes that there's very little chance that theater will be sufficient to pay her bills, and she's at least cognizant of that and thinking about that because she knows that for the most part, she'll probably need another career to carry her through that life, and hopefully one day she can make something of it. But whatever she does, I know she's going to succeed because she's extremely talented. She's extremely measured, and she puts herself behind her beliefs and her wants fully. And I think that's a very valuable quality. Something that I lack at a lot of times, and I'm really proud of her for that. So I'm excited for the future for her. I'm excited to see what happens, but for right now, she's still just my kid. She's still here every other week. She's still going to high school, though she drives herself now, and she takes herself to her own doctor's appointments, and she does all those sorts of things alone. She's still my kid, and she's still going to be my baby. My bean. I don't know. She asked me the other day what time, when she was born, and I don't really know. I think it was around lunchtime. Maybe it was a little later in the afternoon. I'm not positive. I know we went to the hospital in the morning because it was going to be an induced labor. There's lots of stories about me during that day because I didn't react very well to the birth of my child. It started when their mom got their epidural, and just seeing that tube in her go. I was standing there watching them put the needle in the tube in the spine, and I almost passed out. They say I passed out. I did not. I sat down. I went, okay, I'm going to sit down, and I sat down. I did not fully pass out, but I was really darn close. Like, I would tunnel vision and everything, but I didn't lose consciousness. During the actual labor portion of the delivery, I was a complete mess. I sat in a rocking chair and just bawled my eyes out. I'm a pretty empathetic person, and so hearing their mom just screaming was just I like sensory overload for one. There was a lot of noise going on, and I just shut down, and I was like a complete nightmare. My niece was there. She would have been maybe 12 at the time, something like that. I'm guessing 12, 13, 11, somewhere around there. And they wanted her to see what labor and delivery is like. My sister was there. The whole family was there. And she was born Alina Rowland Dodd. And at some point over the years, at some point in her, very early on, both of my kids earned a nickname early on, and hers was Bean. And specifically, I called her Beaner for a lot of years, Leaner Beaner. And I had to stop calling her that when she started to go to school because that's just not a very good word. And so I've called her Bean her whole life. At 16, we had her name legally changed to Rowland Alina. She is now Rowland, and that's what she goes by and wants to go by. And I've stopped calling her Rowland or Alina completely, and she just goes by Rowland. I still call her Bean. She's still my Bean, and she always will be my Bean. But she's changed my life in dramatic ways. Things that I had to change my whole perspective on the world and the reality of how the world interacts with me and my family altered from that day forward. I quit smoking the day she was born. That was the last time I smoked for realsies. I had probably a few cigarettes years past that, just in bars or whatever, but I quit smoking completely on a daily basis when she was born. Because I grew up in a smoking household. My mom smoked, my aunt smoked, and my mom was one of those people that said, do as I say, not as I do. And I had told myself at a very early age that if I was to ever have children, I would never say those words to them. I would always present myself in a way that I want them to emulate. And so I quit smoking the day she was born. I quit a lot of things. I don't want to say I quit life, but I quit doing a lot of stuff just because I had a family now and I had to be there. And that was important, right? It was important to me to be there. And I wasn't always the best at that. I'm not great at the playthings and that sort of stuff, but I think that it's taken me 18 years, but I've learned how to be the dad that I am, right? And I've learned how to be comfortable with the dad that I am, and I've learned that my kid is comfortable with the dad that I am, that she appreciates me. And I appreciate her for all of those lessons that she's taught me, right? Because to be fair, I have done very little teaching. We've let them all, teach themselves, that we've let them explore the world on their own. And she's turned out to be a wonderful person. So, happy birthday, Rowland. I'm super proud of you. And I love you. Very, very much. And you'll always be my Bean. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again on Monday. Today's word you should know to sound smart is obdurate. It is an adjective meaning stubborn and unyielding. The fates are not quite obdurate. They have grim, sardonic way of granting them who supplicate the thing they wanted yesterday. Roselle Mercy Montgomery, an American poet. Obdurate. Obdurate. I would have pronounced that obdurate, but the key says obdurate. Makes sense, I guess. Word I've never heard of. Ever. That's a good one. Stubborn and unyielding. I am very much obdurate at times.